coming into this podcast slipping and fucking tripping over cords and shit. Gotta get my shit more organized. Okay. Toronto media is the worst. They're the worst media in the world. If you want to talk about, well, if we're talking about the Raptors here, if we're talking about sports media, because if you look at any other city sports media, nobody has it like Toronto. Nobody has a media where they're just waiting for your team to fail. They're basically waiting for their own team to fail so they could throw them under the bus and talk bare shit about them. That's Toronto media. And all their sports, all their anchors, all their personalities are trash for the most part. They don't really know sports. They don't have anybody great up here when it comes to Toronto media. And the fan base for the Raptors, listen, I'm a Cavs fan. I don't give a fuck about the Raptors. Just there's a difference between being a hometown person, just being just cheering the city, like going to a game or something and just being like, whatever, I'm going to a Raptors game and I'm supporting them against the fucking Hornets or something. You can be that and just support your team because that's the city you're from, but you don't have to be a fucking fan of a uniform and a city. You can be a fan of the players. That's why I'm a fan of the Cavs, because it's LeBron. I don't give a fuck about DeRozan and fucking Lowry and these niggas. Like, yeah, they're good. They're all-stars, but the fuck? I'm a LeBron fan. Obviously, I'm going to stick with the Cavs. And before the series started, we can pull up my tweet. I predicted the entire second round. I got everything right for the most part. I got the games wrong. I had the Cavs in 6. I had Celtics winning in 7. That clearly didn't happen. They both won the Cavs won in 4. Celtics won in 5. I had Golden State winning in 5. I had Houston winning in 5. That shit happened. Now, when it comes to the next round, we're just gonna skip over the Raptors because I'm done with the fucking Raptors. The Twitterverse is the worst. When you go on Twitter and you hear all these Raptors, let me go back to the Raptors. I'm not done with the Raptors. When you go on Twitter and you hear these niggas complaining like they had faith that the Raptors were gonna actually do something to the Cavs after getting bad treated year after year, it's like, I think Raptors fans are on the level of Cowboys fans. Like, every year they think they're gonna do, like, the Raptors are actually have a chance. Like, the Raptors are the team that I bet against all the time. I win money off the Raptors all the time because the Raptors, when it comes to the most important games in the playoffs, well, against the Cavs, they're pretty much good against any other team in the East. They just can't beat the Cavs. And if they actually made it to the finals and the Cavs fucked up and LeBron got injured somehow and the Cavs lost to another team before the Raptors played the other team and the Raptors won to the finals, they're getting battered, they're getting slapped 4-0, getting swept. The same way they get swept in the conference finals or the semis. Doesn't matter where they play the Cavs. If they play a superior team, they don't have the mental fortitude to even compete or put up a challenge. Because once they start getting beat, it's done. They're like, fuck it, we done. We can't beat these niggas. That's their mentality. But when they're against the Wizards, they're just calm and cool and shit. They're like, we can beat these guys. They win a couple of games, It's not the same against superior talent for the Raptors. Bunch of folding ass niggas. And the fans, man. They have a lot of female fans. The Raptors female fans, man, they speak the fuck up. They speak up. But once again, they're disappointed every year and they're heartbroken. Every year. I don't know why. They keep falling for the bullshit. Every year. Okay, so the Cavs are going to take out Boston. And I would love to say a sweep, but I'm guessing it's going to be 5. I guess there's going to be one game where they kind of just, they're not in rotation. They're not in rhythm, I should say. And they're not feeling it. And they're going to probably lose one game. That's it. Just one game. People that have faith in the Rockets, I don't know why. It's completely misguided because the Rockets are going to get destroyed. They'll be lucky to win one game. They're basically in the same shoes as the Celtics right now. The Rockets and the Celtics are gone. It's going to be the same shit that it was the last 3 years. It's going to be the Cavs and the Warriors the same way it was. All right. So anyone that thinks the Raptors should fire Dwayne Casey is kind of crazy because Dwayne Casey just won rookie. Dwayne Casey just won Coach of the Year. So I don't know if there's ever been a Coach of the Year that gets fired after winning 59, having a 59 win season, most in franchise history. Yeah, you lost in the semis, but you lost to the best player in the world. You won Coach of the Year. If you get fired, then what the fuck is wrong with their organization? The thing about the Raptors is I don't know who the hell their owner is. I think it's like owned by like a conglomerate, a business or something like that. I don't know, but we don't know their owner. Well, I don't, at least. I think if I Google it, I could probably find it out. But it's not like someone you know off the top, like a Pat Riley or, a Dan Gilbert or anyone you could just come off the top of your head and these guys just own the Cavs or he owns the Heat or these teams. We don't know who owns the Raptors. We don't know who makes all these fucked up decisions years after year. Every time we get a good team, we fuck it up somehow. So we should stick. I'm saying we, like I'm a Raptors fan. I'm not a Raptors fan, but I'm from the city. Toronto should stick to what the fuck they got. They should stick to being a playoff team, be a 50-win team. I don't care how many times you're gonna lose in the playoff, second round, conference finals. At least you're making it there. A lot of teams don't make it to no fucking conference finals. They don't win 50-plus games. They don't get a top seed. So keep it together. Dwayne Casey's a good coach. The problem is they're not good enough. DeMar DeRozan and Kyle Lowry aren't beating LeBron James and Kevin Love and the supporting cast. They like to talk about the bench. The bench doesn't mean shit in the playoffs. What the fuck is a 12-deep bench going to do when these players are like second-tier players? And the reason why they're good and effective in the regular season is because they're playing against other benches and they're just better than other benches. But you put them against starters, put Van Fleet and these guys against LeBron and George Hill still on the court, JR, great defender. It's not going to work out. And it didn't. And we seen it. They got swept. I thought they would lose in 5 or 6, but these niggas got swept. The Pacers. See, the thing is, I said from the beginning the Pacers would be the hardest challenge for the Cavs on their road to the finals in the entire East. And once they get out this series, they're going to make it to the finals because no other team matches up as well with the Cavs as the Pacers. Pacers match up well. They shut down everybody except LeBron because you can't really shut down players like LeBron. But they shut down Kevin Love. Kyle Korver got off a little bit, but when you're coming off screens and LeBron's hitting you with bullet passes and you're wide open, you're going to hit them threes, especially your Kyle Korver. You're one of the best three-point shooters in history. That's what's going to happen. But the Raptors don't have it. Their ceiling, they hit their ceiling every time, and it's like they try as hard as they can and there's nothing they can do. They talk about it's a mental wall that they hit and they give up. You've seen that with Valanciunas when he dropped to his knees in game 1 after missing all those layups and shit. It just looked pathetic. But at the end of the day, it's like it's not just a mental thing. It's like they're not good enough. They can play to their capacity. They're just not good enough. It just comes down to that. Sometimes you're just not good enough. You can devise the best game plan you want. If you're playing against the best player in the world with some 3-point shooters that have some chemistry, when you have JR, LeBron, Kevin Love, Tristan Thompson, Korver, you have those guys on the court. Those guys know how to play with each other. Pause. We're seeing the same thing again. Another Cavs-Warriors finals. Quite predictable. Not really, because this was interesting for a little bit. The first round was kind of crazy. A couple of 7-game series. Second round was kind of just what I expected it to be, but not as quick as I expected it to be. I see the Rockets having no chance. They have no chance. The Rockets have no chance. Chris Paul and James Harden are yet to play a good game together against two teams that were pretty basic. They played Minnesota, who just didn't look like they were playing playoff basketball. They looked pretty much like a regular season team in the playoffs. And as good as the Jazz are coached and as cohesive as a unit as they are, they just don't have the talent. They have a rookie as their leading scorer, so it's like Donovan Mitchell's not going to be enough to take out a 60-plus win team in the West, or at least he shouldn't be. So it's like, of course, they have to handle that type of business, but they're going to get exposed the same way the Pelicans got exposed when they played the Warriors, because they're just not good enough. These teams look good until they play the top of the top. If somehow someone gets injured on Golden State, like KD goes down with an ankle injury, Steph goes down with a knee injury in the same series, they lose, and the Rockets go on to the finals, they're getting slapped by the Cavs. The Rockets aren't good enough to beat the Cavs in the finals. Like, do you trust James Harden over LeBron in the finals? Are you kidding me? LeBron's putting up 40 a game for that. LeBron's eyes will light up if he sees any other team other than Golden State across from him in the finals. Because even Golden State, he's lighting up, but he just knows that the team's not good enough defensively to stop them. And he knows that Golden State's defense is gonna, stop the rest of his team. I'm not sure about Houston's defense. I don't care about PJ Tucker, and they talk about these big bodies. PJ Tucker wasn't doing shit on the Raptors when they were getting battered last year. So it's like, I don't know, man. I don't think the Rockets can do it, even if they pull off a miracle and get by the Warriors, which is definitely not gonna happen. Pretty much the same thing we're going to see from last year in the finals. Pretty predictable. Pretty much off this basketball talk now. I'm not going to waste any time talking about Kanye West. Maybe a minute or two, but that's about it, because I really don't care. When you come on TMZ freestyling at first, and then you shoot an interview with Charlemagne, that's a long, well thought out interview where you're speaking and you're collecting your thoughts, and you have it and you hold on to it for 3 weeks, and you process it in a way, and you make sure everything comes out the way you want it to come out. But before you do that, you go to after you do that, you record the thing, you go to TMZ, you do that bullshit that you do, you get everybody's attention, and then you get the interview where your thoughts are more well spoken up, but not even that well spoken out, to be honest. Pretty not at all. But the thing is, you do that to basically clarify the bullshit that you did, or try to clarify the bullshit that you did after. But you say that was from before. But either way, you're trying. It's a publicity stunt. You're just trying to gather our attention, and I don't care, really and truly. I don't know why you're trying to gather the attention. I don't know if this nigga's really running for president. I'm in Canada. Don't really give a fuck. I don't know, man. I just don't care. I haven't listened to a Kanye album in a while. The last Kanye album I really liked was his first album. I'm not a Kanye fan. It's not my wave. It's not my vibe. I don't really care. So when he does this type of shit, and it's like that slavery is a choice shit, I'm just like, nigga, like, I don't care. People say he wants to be a rich, famous white man, old white man like Michael Jackson. That's what he wants to be. He seems a little insecure with that liposuction and all. I don't care. I just really don't care. Like, why am I even talking about this? Next fucking subject. I really don't care about Kanye. So I want to talk about platforms, because shit's fucked up. You see what Instagram's done. Instagram has basically censored everything. They said because of this anti-bullying waves going on, so they're censoring shit. Which means if you're bullying people, you're taking digs, you're talking shit, anything that they deem they want to censor, they're going to censor. So to me, that's pretty much bullshit. You could be fucking with your friends. You could be talking shit. You don't know what the fuck's going to be censored. 50 said fuck it. 50 said fuck Instagram. He's going back to Twitter because Twitter is a free fucking world. And as long as Donald Trump's on Twitter, you know it's going to stay free and you can say what the fuck you want. Because Instagram's trash right now. For them to do that shit is trash. And that's why I want to talk about platforms. Because everybody claims they have a platform, they're this, that, and that. It's like, yeah, cool. You have your followers. I see you. But someone owns Instagram. It's a company. So it's like you're building your following and your base on another platform, not your own platform. So you don't technically have your own platform, because once they want to censor you and you want to do what the fuck you want to do, then you're fucked up. It's almost like YouTube. Because say if you're doing what I'm doing, a podcast or something, this is Blunt Talk with LT. I say what the fuck I want, however the fuck I want, whenever I want, who I want to say it to, or whoever the fuck comes, guests, people on the phone, doesn't matter. Because I just want to get honest conversation and the best possible answers to shit, because at the end of the day, if you're not open and you're not saying the most rawest things, not just to say it to fucking shock value, but just to say things in their intended form without sugarcoating it, to get the best response and the most logical answer to come down to the greatest truth of whatever the fuck you're speaking about. So sometimes you have to be raw. But when you're like this and you're saying certain things, YouTube might be like, you know what? Say if you're making money off of YouTube and you have a lot of subscribers and you're getting a lot of views, but YouTube doesn't agree with your message, they're going to demonetize your video. And probably, or not probably, but if you keep having consistent videos where they demonetize it because they don't agree with what you're saying and they label it hate speech, they could completely demonetize your account. And if you're making your money and you're living off of YouTube, then there goes your whole living. And then what you gonna do? Get a factory job? So it's like, what is a platform nowadays? You might have a platform for a little bit. You might be bubbling on a platform, but really you got to build your own company or something and then have it self-sustaining. For me, when I look at podcasts and I look at ads and things like that, I'm probably like, me at my top. Doesn't matter how much views I get, how much guests I get, whatever. It's going to remain unfiltered, raw. And it seems like a lot of niggas that do that type of podcast don't get ads at the height. Yeah, you see a lot of white folks talk whatever the fuck they want to talk about, and whatever which way they want to talk about it. Comedians, whatever, they say what the fuck they want to say. And those podcasts that do huge numbers, they have the most ads, and the ads realize that they don't give a fuck about what they're saying because they have that type of view count. Not even just view count, that type of, what's the word I'm looking for, man? It's fucking late. I'm tired. Blanked out on words. You know what I'm talking about. They got that type of stream, the type of visitors, that type of, god damn, when I watch this back, I'm gonna be like, how the fuck did I blank out on the word I'm trying to find? But it doesn't matter. They have that audience. And when you have that type of broad audience that returns for every episode, they're gonna wanna put their ads there and market their shit to the people that watch, because even if they don't agree with your message, they still have the people. They still have that huge wide base of people that they can reach. So sometimes the ads they won't care. The sponsors wouldn't give a shit, but they're picky and choosy. So it's a deadly game. So for me, people like me, or like anyone that's starting, I suggest use Patreon. Get people to basically that fucks with your wave and they want to support you and they want to see you continue doing what you're doing. Then get a Patreon. People donate some odd dollars per month or whatever, or dollar per episode, 50 cents, whatever the fuck it is they want to donate. That's also a wave if you're going to keep it raw and you want to have your podcast keep going, or you want to have a platform if you're going to be doing YouTube shit. But there's so many different types of things you can do, but they all get cut off unless you build your own shit, which is very fucked up. You can be building something on Twitch, playing video games, building a career, feeling like, holy shit, I love video games. I'm playing all the video games. I'm sick at all this shit. My little brother, my little sister, da-da-da-da. You have everybody making money off Twitch, and then, you know, you say some racial slur, you call someone a fag or something, and boom, account gone, revenue gone, all that money, that livelihood gone. It's fucked up. It's fucked up. You got to build your own shit. I don't see enough people coming together and being like, you know what? I don't want to be an employee. You're an employee for a job that you don't like. I'm an employee for a job that I don't like. This is dead end bullshit. Let's come together and just research how we can do shit and start a business, because really and truly, if people didn't realize, it's not very hard to start a business. You don't have to have any sort of form of education or anything. It's very fucking easy. I don't have to explain it. You can Google it and learn how to start a business in 10 minutes. Spend a little money. Boom. Have a little direction. You know, it could work out. That's what I'm doing right now. Fuck that shit. But a lot of people don't. I wish more people kind of felt the way where they feel like they can start a business, or they can work together with people, team up, do things, so they don't have to work the conventional ways if they don't have that type of education, or that they're not working that type of form, or they're not looking to be a doctor, an accountant. There's a lot of people roaming around the streets just working bullshit, still living with their parents. A lot of that shit going on right now. It's fucked up. There's a lot of things, a lot of platforms, for no one that's watching. So for people that are just listening to the audio and not seeing the video, air quotes on the platforms. There's a lot of platforms out there that you can make a consistent revenue stream from, but if you don't capitulate to their wants and their needs, or their guidelines or whatever, they can cut your ass off so quick. It's fucked up. Speaking of that, I got a Patreon/Blunt Talk with LT. If you want to be one of them niggas dropping a loony a month, it's out there, B. I don't really care if you donate or not. It's just out there. I'm trying to pair up with a charity too for my business, but I got to work out how that works first, because I don't want to be donating shit to niggas that are just pocketing my money backstage or back behind the scenes. A group of fucking people in the suits like, yeah, this nigga's donating money. How much are we splitting this? We taking 25, 25, 25, 25. Oh no, that's not how the math works. And they're just splitting it up behind the scenes. Fuck that shit. Nah. If I'm donating some shit, or if I'm getting people to donate for a cause, I got to make sure that money's going to the right place. So fuck that shit. Got to make sure first. Got to do some thorough investigation before I bring this back to the public. Everything will be on camera though. If I'm going to be doing this shit, I'm going to be documenting every last step of it. If I'm be collecting money from charity, and I'm going straight up to the charity with everything being recorded, my whole crew, my whole film crew's coming. We're recording that shit. We're making sure everything's legit. Yeah. I recommend, if you're an artist, an entrepreneur or something, I feel like if you know what you want to do, don't even waste time. See, it's easier said than done, because you have to maintain your life and your bills and your livelihood. But I feel like you should not waste too much time working for somebody else and building up someone else's company or someone else's dream, instead of working on your own. Even if you have to live like trash for a little bit to build up your own shit so you can live the way you want to live and do your shit and be an artist, and not be an aging rapper or singer missing your fucking window because you're trying to build your life and you're trying to take care of kids that you had too young or whatever. It's like, fuck. You just gotta go for it. You gotta team up. You gotta be around the right people. Be around the right positive fucking people. I realize that, because I can't get nothing done when I'm around a bunch of negative people always telling me. It's not even just like telling you can't do shit. It's just being so negative about things and bringing you into different conversations of negativity. And it's just like you can't get anything done with that type of weight around you. So if you're around people that aren't doing nothing and have no motivation to do anything, even if you're cool with them and they have cool personalities and they're funny and this and that, sometimes you got to get away from the motherfuckers. Motherfuckers will fuck up your whole life, and then you realize you just look past and the years are passing and you're aging, you're old as shit. Nothing's going right for you because you chilled around the wrong motherfuckers. That's what I learned. Got to be around productive, positive people. Even if someone doesn't bring so, like, you can't be around people just to use people. So at the end of the day, like, if people are cool, they're cool. But at the same time, it's like, if the energy is positive, I can fuck with anybody that has positive energy. You got that positive energy, and you're trying to do something, trying to work, we can work. Can't be around those victim ass motherfuckers. I don't like that victim mentality. Fuck that shit. That coward ass shit. Okay, let me speak about Kanye real quick, because Kanye really highlighted something that I find so weird. It's like you get a certain level of fame. Hold on. All right, let me get back to this point I was going to make. Okay, so I'm going to make a point about Kanye. So Kanye, you get to a certain amount of fame, a certain fame level. You hear a lot of comments or a lot of whatever noise from the fans, your people, them, and you feel like what they want controls you to a, like, I don't understand what his mentality is, and his I don't know, I just feel like it's very thin-skinned. For him to get liposuction because they're calling Rob Kardashian fat, he didn't want to be called fat. Like, nigga, work out. Like, run, go to the gym. Like, the fuck? I don't understand it. I don't understand why these niggas is so, like, everyone in Hollywood's so lazy. They're so quick to plastic and cut up shit and open up stuff and just rearrange shit. It's like, yo, go to the gym, nigga. There's so many girls, so many dudes, so many everybody in the fucking gym just creating the body that they want to have. So it's like when Kanye is like liposuction because he feels fat, and it's like that insecure shit. It's like, what are you, a girl? Like, the fuck? Like, I'm not trying to just disrespect the nigga, but it's like, what the fuck? Like, I don't give a fuck about comments. When I first started putting out music videos and shit, the comments I got were hilarious. But I'm like, fuck it. Like, I've been around niggas that see the comments and they're like, holy fuck. Fuck these niggas. Yo, we'll find out who these niggas are. And they get mad and shit. But I'm looking at that, I'm like, nigga, who cares? I don't understand how someone could be so thin-skinned if you're getting all that attention and you're making money. I feel like sometimes people forget the struggle and they forget the come up and they forget the life that's not celebrity based, not waking up and working a shit 9 to 5 and doing something that you don't want to do and seeing people that you don't want to see and working places that you don't want to work and not collecting the money and this and that. And he's naming all these rich white folks that nobody knows, and it's like Kanye just clearly wants to be a rich old white guy. And it's okay. It's okay that he wants to be that. You got men that want to be women. You got women that want to be men because they feel like that's what they are. And Kanye feels like that's what he wants to be. Everyone's entitled to their own fucking opinion and their own fucking prerogatives and their own desires. It's life. Who gives a fuck? If he wants that, he wants that. I just could point out the fact that I feel like he is a little thin-skinned. But the thing is, when you're on drugs like that, I've never been on opioids and all those fucked up shit, so I don't know how the fuck I'd be if I was getting all fat and shit and I was on opioids, all mental breakdown-ish and shit. I don't know how the fuck that shit is, so who knows? But still, that seems a little weird. Seems a little weird to me. We've seen a bunch of like 360s when it comes to these artists and their personalities. But that's an artist for you. I've been around a lot of artists. I'm an artist myself, and I know a lot of artists are very emotional people, a lot of sensitive, emotional people. It's just part of being an artist, I guess. But, to each his own. Blunt Talk with LT, Stack Gwop Entertainment, stackgwop.com/shop. I have some new clothes coming out soon. Have some designers working on some new shit. Gonna have some things coming up soon in the next couple of weeks. Summer line. No more of these hoodies and these Stack Gwop toques and shit. It's gonna be the snapbacks and the t-shirts and the summer apparel and the women's t-shirts and all that shit. So stackgwop.com/shop. I'm trying to put out a fucking album. That's what the fuck I'm trying to do. I'm trying to put out an album and go on tour. My niggas is already putting up shit, on Spotify, doing their shit, doing shows, creating the heat right now. Everything's in order. I'm trying to put out this album. You haven't heard a Blunt Talk in a while. Been working on this album. Shit takes a while. Shit's, I got a different setup too. Different than the first setup for the podcast. If you look at the last episode, it's not quite the same. But yeah, we just working out here. Definitely didn't stop rapping. I hate when I see people and they're like, yo, you still rapping? It's like, of course, nigga, it should take time though. Like, when was the last Nas album you heard? Fuck. I don't know, man. Shit. Alright, I'm signing off. Kind of tired. I'm about to smoke a blunt. Blunt Talk with LT.